Hello, so today we'll start Constitution of India ka salient features. So there are various important features of our constitution, of our Indian constitution. So let's look at them in detail. So the salient features of our constitution. Before beginning, there are two factual things which we all should remember. Like 42nd कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट को मिनी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ इंडिया कहा जाता है और ये इंदिरा गांधी मैम के टेन्योर के वक्त की बात है। और दिस इज़ कॉल्ड सो बिकॉज बहुत सारे कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के बहुत सारे प्रोविजंस में बदलाव किए गए थे और बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डॉक्ट्राइन जो है उसको एक डेफिनेट शेप मिल पाया था केशवानंदा भारती केस 1973 के बाद। वी विल टॉक अबाउट बोथ ऑफ दीज इन लेटर क्लासेस। So for the time being, just remember that 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act is the mini constitution of India and it was in year 1976. So Keshwananda Bharati case पहले था and then came the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. Okay, and now let's move forward. So everything has a definite feature. Just like that, our Indian constitution has many features. First of all, it is the lengthiest written constitution of the world. So we know that the oldest constitution is the Constitution of USA, and the lengthiest written constitution is the oldest written constitution is the Constitution of US, and the lengthiest written is the Constitution of India. But there are reasons why it is so lengthy. ऐसे ही नहीं है उतना लंबा, because first of all, geographical factors. India is a land of diversity. तो यहाँ पर इतना ज़्यादा कल्चरल डिफरेंस है, जोग्राफिकल डिफरेंसेस एंड मैनी अदर फैक्टर्स आर देयर, एंड टू मेक इट इंक्लूसिव, that was the principle of the Constituent Assembly, democratic, inclusive. So to make the constitution inclusive, the constitution makers added many provisions and that added to its size. Historical factors, we know that the structural part of the constitution has been derived from the Government of India Act 1935, and that was in itself a very long act. So obviously अगर उसका ढांचा लंबा था तो फिर जो उससे डराइव हुआ है तो वो लंबा होगा ही। साथ ही साथ वी हैव फीचर्स फ्रॉम मोतीलाल नेहरू रिपोर्ट, एंड द प्रियम्बल हैज़ बीन मेजरली derived फ्रॉम Pandit Nehru's objective resolution. And then India is a large country and we have many states, and उन सारे states का अपना अलग constitution नहीं होता है। 2019 तक जम्मू एंड कश्मीर का अलग कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन होता था, बट ऑब्वियसली वी ऑल नो दैट अब उसका भी नहीं है। सो सारे स्टेट्स का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अलग नहीं है, तो एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है हमारे पूरे कंट्री का। इसमें ही हर स्टेट में जिस स्टेट्स को स्पेसिफिक प्रोविजंस की ज़रूरत है, जैसे कि इनर लाइन परमिट एंड मैनी अदर्स थिंग्स, तो उनके लिए प्रोविजंस जो है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में ही एडेड है, तो ऑब्वियसली इट विल बी वेरी लॉन्ग। एंड डोमिनेंस ऑफ लीगल लिमिनरीज, वी ऑल नो दैट Nehru and Dr. Ambedkar and many other founding fathers, they were all very educated and trained in law. So obviously the provisions will be very in a detailed manner and they are well explained. And इसका एक बहुत बड़ा पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट है दैट बहुत सारे कंट्रीज़ में देखा गया है कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कुछ सालों के बाद बदल गया, लेकिन हमारे फाउंडिंग फादर्स दूरदर्शी थे एंड they were like they knew many legal provisions and they have explained them in a very nice way ताकि कोई भी confusion ना हो आगे चलकर। So yeah, that's why it is big. So, in the words of Dr. Ambedkar, Constitution was framed after ransacking all the known constitution of the world. So he told that बाकी जितने भी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हैं, जितने भी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन उन लोगों को पता था, उन सबको पढ़कर उनमें से जो अच्छी चीज़ें हैं उनको निकाला गया और जो इंडिया के मुताबिक हों, और नहीं तो फिर उनको मॉडिफाई कर दिया गया इंडिया के नीड्स के अनुसार. सो इट कैन बी सेड दैट इट्स अ borrowed constitution, but you know, even if you call it a patchwork or something, so it's a very beautiful patchwork, and we all know the beauty of the constitution, and we'll know further as we read further. So the constitution has been divided into three parts for the purpose of learning. Structural part, that has been borrowed from GOI Act 1935. Philosophical part, that is the fundamental rights and the DPSPs. So fundamental rights we have borrowed from अमेरिकन बिल ऑफ राइट्स USA, और वहाँ पे भी अमेंडमेंट्स के बाद ऐड हुआ था. हमारे पास तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के बिगिनिंग से है. एंड आयरलैंड के कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से वी हैव DPSPs. द पॉलिटिकल पार्ट लाइक द कैबिनेट सिस्टम and many other features we have borrowed from Britain, and other parts we have borrowed from Canada, Australia. We'll see later. Let's move forward. So Government of India Act से we have borrowed, Government of India Act 1935 से we have borrowed the structural part, that is a federal scheme. The office of the governor, keep in mind the office of the governor, it's very important, from GOI Act 1935. Power of federal judiciary, public service commissions, emergency provisions, and emergency provisions, keep an eye on this. And then Ireland के constitution से we have borrowed the nomination of members to Rajya Sabha, the provision of nominating members to Rajya Sabha actually, directive principles of state policy and method of Indian presidential elections. US के constitution से we have borrowed the fundamental rights first of all, the PIL, the independence of judiciary, because you can remember this because judiciary is supreme in the US. So independence of judiciary, judicial review, impeachment of the president, removal of the Supreme Court and the High Court, and the post of vice president. So we'll see, यहाँ पर हम देख रहे हैं कि independence of judiciary we have borrowed from US Constitution, but पावर ऑफ फेडरल जुडिशरी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935. इन दोनों में मतलब पढ़ते रहिए इसको बार बार. कैनेडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से फेडरल सिस्टम, तो वी फॉलो द कैनेडियन फेडरल सिस्टम. ओके, कैनेडियन फेडरल सिस्टम, दैट इज़ अ फेडरेशन विद अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग सेंटर, and obviously if the center is strong, the residuary power is with the center. Appointment of state governors by the center, again see, Canadian constitution से we have taken the provision of appointment of governors by the president, by the center, but the post of governor we have taken from Government of India Act of 1935. post पहले से था हमारा. Procedure we have taken from Canadian constitution. Australian constitution से we have taken parliamentary privileges, concurrent lists, trade and commerce, and joint sitting of the two houses of the parliament. And then British constitution, sorry I skipped it by mistake. Law making procedure we have taken from there. Parliamentary government, rule of law, this is important, rule of law we have taken from the British constitution. Single citizenship, cabinet system, writs we have taken from British constitution. And Ambedkar told that writs are the heart and soul of the constitution. And then Japanese constitution se we have taken procedure established by law. We'll see this procedure established by law, Japanese constitution, rule of law, British constitution. So keep this difference in mind. USSR, that's Russia, se we have taken fundamental duties. This is easy to remember. And ideal of justice, that's social, economic and political. French say obviously we have taken the idea of republic and the ideals of liberty, equality, fraternity that has been used in our preamble. And South African constitution say we have taken procedure of the amendment of the constitution. Like this is like very important right now because of amendment and stuff. And election of members to Rajya Sabha. So now election of member to Rajya Sabha we have taken from South African constitution, and Ireland के constitution से we have taken nomination of members to Rajya Sabha. And I don't know, it's not mentioned here. Germany के constitution से we have taken suspension of fundamental rights during emergency. So except article 20 and 21 obviously. So see, Government of India Act se we got emergency provisions and power of suspending them during the emergency period we have got from German constitution, Weimar Republic. Yeah, so let's move ahead. So this is very important part, fundamental rights part 3, and we have like 6 fundamental rights. Like the fundamental rights have been organized into 6 broad topics. Let's see them. Right to equality, right to freedom, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational right to constitutional remedies. Equality, freedom, right against exploitation, freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, right to constitutional remedies. So this is like very important part, and we will see this later. And I think Motilal Nehru report maybe some of the fundamental rights were mentioned. Objective of the fundamental right: to promote the idea of political democracy. Political democracy can be promoted through fundamental rights. मतलब people will, so it's very necessary for everyone to be aware of the political rights we have got. And this also operates as a limitation on the tyranny of the government, because we can object that this is my fundamental right. If the executive of or the legislature is trying to do anything, obviously they are amendable by law. So, but while amending that also, they have to follow the basic structure of the constitution. And basic of the structure of the constitution, as repeated before, it has been defined by the Keshwananda Bharati case. And they are justiciable in nature, and they are so very important that you can directly move to the Supreme Court. Like High Court and Supreme Court both have writ jurisdiction in case of breach of fundamental rights, but any individual can directly move to the apex court, that is the Supreme Court, for writs. And then they are not absolute, can be curtailed, repealed, keeping in mind the basic structure. Like we had right of property as fundamental right earlier, now it has been made legal right, and can be suspended during operation of national emergency except the right by 20 and 21. And this provision of suspension has been taken from the Weimar Constitution. Directive principles of state policy. According to Dr. Ambedkar, it is a novel feature of our constitution, and it has been taken from Constitution of Ireland. It is in part 4, and there are 3, like they can be divided into 3 broad topics. That is the socialist part, the Gandhian part, and the liberal intellectual part. And their main motive is to promote social and economic democracy, okay, and to establish India as a welfare state. And they are not justiciable, but the states have to keep them in mind before doing anything. And in the Minerva Mill case, the Supreme Court ruled that both directive principles and fundamental rights are like balancing wheel. So like they are equally important. So both have to be kept in mind, although the latter, that is the DPSP, is not justiciable. And then we have fundamental duties. Fundamental duties weren't a part of our original constitution. It was added by 42nd Amendment 1976 during the tenure of Ma'am Indira Gandhi, and it was recommended by Swaran Singh Committee. And one more fundamental right was added by 86th Constitutional Amendment Act, that is the right to education. We'll see them in detail later. So total we have 11 fundamental duties, and they're like reminded to citizens. And We'll read more about it in detail later. And yeah, it is in Article 4A, sorry, Part 4A, Article 51. There is one article, Article 51. Yeah. Then universal adult franchise. So in India, every citizen who is not less than 18 can vote. Obviously, that person shouldn't be disqualified under any other provisions, but generally, everyone who is 18 can vote. Voting age was reduced to 18 from 21 by 61st CAA 1988. This is a very important question. 1988 में 61st CAA से voting age was reduced from 21 to 18. So when India became independent, many people and even the Britishers didn't believe that we were capable of electing our own government, sorry. And बहुत सारे जगह पर भी देखा गया, even in the Western countries, not everyone got the voting right. और बहुत सालों के बाद उनको मिला. But in India, though we were a poor country because of drain of wealth, we were illiterate and everything, but our constitution makers believed in the true sense of democracy, and Ambedkar told that my feeling is that every man is intelligent enough to understand what exactly he wants. Literacy has not much bearing on this point. A man may be illiterate, nonetheless he may be very intelligent. Obviously, I mean, you can use this in your answer writing, and I don't think it's anything to explain here. And then yeah, we are a secular state. Indian constitution believes all religions to be equal and doesn't uphold any particular religion as the official religion, that is Sarvadharm Sambhav. And our concept, this is like many people don't know about it, but Indian form of secularism is very different from the Western concept of secularism. वहाँ पर उनका क्या है, complete separation है between religion and the state, ठीक है. But we don't have complete separation. We have like every religion is equal, ठीक है. Dr. Rajendra Prasad and Dr. Jawaharlal Nehru, and Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru के word tried their best to explain secularism, though it wasn't like, preamble में बाद में ऐड किया गया है, but obviously that doesn't mean that India wasn't a secular state. Preamble में ऐड किया गया है to make it more obvious. So Dr. Rajendra Prasad explained that secularism proposed does not mean that there will be a lack of religion or spiritual values. ऐसा नहीं है कि there will be no religion or anything like that. And Pandit Nehru told that religion is the free choice of the individual, the family or the group. The government gives protection, encouragement and opportunity to all to practice their own beliefs and creeds. You can use this in answer writing, yeah. And okay, let's stop here.